Hi, I'm Sean Reardon, Mayor of Newburyport, and welcome to the latest edition of the Mayor's Corner. This is the Ohio State edition of the Mayor's Corner, as Ohio State won the national championship in football on Monday night. Everyone knows I'm a Buckeye, so I obviously had a very good Monday night watching my team, who I care so much about, win such an important game. So it was great to see them win. It was the first 12-team playoff for college football. So, Ohio State was the 8th seed, and they went all the way through the bracket and won 4 incredible games to beat Notre Dame and win the national title. It was great. We have some actually Buckeyes in town, too, so it was great to hear from them. Lisa Mead, former mayor, is a Buckeye. Nancy London, our grants administrator here at City Hall, is a Buckeye, and I've also got to meet some other residents who have ties to Ohio State. So again, it was a great night for us on Monday night. I actually went to the national championship game back in 2002 when we played Miami, and we were a big underdog that game, but I actually went to that game out in Arizona, Tempe, Arizona, and watched them win in the Fiesta Bowl to win the first national title since 1970. Ohio State has won 9 national titles in football, which is pretty great. Again, it's a massive school. I loved every second I was out there, and it's just a big part of who I am, being a Buckeye. So anyways, congratulations, Ohio State. So proud of you. What else is going on? So just a couple quick updates. Brown School update. We have a big presentation tonight with the Affordable Housing Trust. So we're looking forward to that. We have made a request to the Affordable Housing Trust for $450,000 to be allocated towards this project, so it's going to help get that project going. This is money they already have, and they have it put aside for the Brown School. So, Zeta Insight will be coming in tonight, making a presentation about where we are right now with the project, and hopefully getting the commitment of the Affordable Housing Trust. And it looks like we're definitely trending in that direction, so we're excited about that. Really quick on the rec center at 59 Low Street. Again, the bids are due February 14th. They actually had their site walk today, and we had a ton of contractors interested in that project. So that's really good news. So they got to tour the site today and see what we're looking for down there. So that's all moving in the right direction. Last night I had a school committee meeting. So we had a few things that we talked about. One of the things came up was the Massachusetts School Building Authority Accelerated Repairs Program. So we're in that program right now, the MSBA. So they'll be coming out and visiting all of our schools coming up. That's part of their process as they put the scope together, so we know what that project looks like and what's the cost that's going to be associated with it. The two things that we're looking for here are the 2 roofs at the middle school and the high school that need to be repaired. At the high school, it's just the roof over the auditorium that needs repairing, and at the middle school, it's the auditorium and a little bit over some classroom buildings. So those are the 2 areas. So we're thrilled we're in that project. Our facilities director down at our schools, Jim McSweeney, is working on that for us. So again, it was nice to get a little update from him last night. What else is going on? Our subcommittees for the school committee have not met yet, but we have a new one that I just want to make sure people knew about. We brought back the Teaching and Learning Subcommittee. Brianna Higgins is going to be the chair of that, so they will have their first meeting coming up. But we're thrilled to have that subcommittee back. We've also added a communication subcommittee that we've been working on a little bit, and now Sarah Hall, who just stepped down as vice chair, will chair that committee. So we have a lot of good things going on in the school committee right now. A lot of engagement, a lot of hearing what we feedback from residents and how we incorporating that in the way we do our work. And I think that'll play out in the budget and finance. The budget process this year with the schools, their budget and finance committee is called FinCom. Brian Callahan is the chair of that, and we're going to actually do a handful of hearings through that FinCom committee so we can do a deeper dive into the school budget this year. So again, a lot of good things going on at the school committee, and we had a great meeting last night. Boards and commissions, I wanted to give just another quick update on. If you're interested in serving on these committees, I actually had a lot of nice interviews yesterday with residents, with people who want to serve. The big one we're looking for right now is the Conservation Commission. It's called CONCOM. They meet twice a month. But if you have a legal, environmental, natural resources type of background, engineering, we are desperate need. We've had a lot of people who have served on that commission for a long time, and we've got some retirements coming up. They're willing to stay on until we have people that we have in place, but we are in desperate need of some people. So if you have that interest, or have that background at all and you want to get involved in the city, please reach out to my office. Talk to Christine Jackson at the mayor's office and we'll get you in here for an interview. But that's the biggest one we're looking for right now. And there's a couple other spots available as well. So again, reach out to the mayor's office if you're interested in some other committees and boards and commissions, and we'll get you in here for an interview. So always a great way to get involved in the city. If you're new to the city and you have some expertise that you'd like to share, it's a great way to meet people too. So I know we get lots of those residents as well. So again, boards and commissions, we'd love to hear from you. I want to just bring up the State of the City again. That's coming up on February 26th. That's a Wednesday night, 7 o'clock here at City Hall. Governor Maura Healey will be here and will be speaking. Our state auditor, Diana DiZoglio, will also be here and speaking that night. So it's going to be a star-studded affair, and it's always great to hear about, what we accomplished this past year and where we're going from here on out. So I'm excited about it. It's a great event. We also have the Public and Community Service Awards that night. Again, get those nominations in. We got the new Reverend Helen Mergida Award as well. So if you go to cityofnewburyport.com and then click on the news section, I think it's about the 5th or 6th story down, talks about how do you nominate somebody for these awards. Again, you can do a paper and pen nomination form, or there's a link to a Google sheet on there for you to fill out. I actually just did it this morning just to try it out, so it's very easy to do. And it's just a great way to nominate someone who's doing great work in the city. It can be a business, it can be one of our youngsters in our schools who is doing great work, or it could be an elected official or someone working for the city. There's categories for everybody, and it's just a way to kind of shine a light on some great work happening in the city. So please check that out. Get your nominations in. We're going to have to make some decisions here coming into February, but we want to get all those nominations in first. Finally, or one of the last things I want to talk about is it is pretty cold out there. I think when I went out to check my wife's tires this morning to make sure she had enough air in them, I think it was around 3 degrees, so we're going to have a negative wind chill the next couple days. If you're out there and you need warming centers, we put some information out about that. Salvation Army is available. And for the city during the day, the senior center and the library are great places to go to keep warm. But don't hesitate to reach out to the non-emergency line at the fire department or to our senior center and our outreach coordinator if you're having issues with heat, right? I mean, this is the time of year we don't want anyone to be cold. So we have resources in place to help you. So those are the places you can reach out. And again, you've got the Salvation Army, Senior Center, and the library to keep you warm as well. So we just want to make sure everyone had that information. And again, don't hesitate to reach out because it's going to be pretty cold here for the foreseeable future. Lastly, I just wanted to mention this past weekend was the Martin Luther King holiday on Monday, the 20th, and so we had a long weekend here. And there was some great events that happened in the city that I got to attend. First, Representative Shand and I hosted a book talk at Illum Bookstore, and so thank you to Illum Bookstore. They are wonderful. But we had a book talk with Jason Sokol, who is a professor at UNH, but he lives here in Newburyport, and he wrote a book, The Heavens Might Crack, and he's written 3 books around the civil rights movement, but The Heavens Might Crack are around the death of Martin Luther King, and how was that received in our country at that time, and how it went from a place that was a very how he went from a really polarizing figure, how he grew into a national hero that we celebrate every year with a federal holiday. So it was a fascinating talk, especially in the times that we're living in now. So I want to thank Jason Sokol and again Representative Shand for putting that together. And then yesterday we were at the Senior Center. I'm sorry, not yesterday, but Monday we were at the Senior Center for the MLK breakfast that the YWCA puts on every year. And that was a great event, very well attended, even after the snow that we had on Sunday night. And by the way, thank you DPS, you did a great job getting that snow plowed up and getting our buildings and sidewalks ready for the next day. It was a great event held by the YMCA, so kudos to John Feenan and his team, and they had a great speaker and some great performances as well. But so important to take a moment during MLK weekend to think about the life of Martin Luther King. I was obsessed with him as a child. I probably tell this story every year, but I did a book report on him for Miss Tobin's class, now Mary Raven, in 6th grade, where I got to dress up as Martin Luther King, and I gave like this book report that I memorized in the auditorium at the middle school to everybody. And of course, I got a great grade on it. But I was one of those kids that loved biographies, loved reading about famous people, especially leaders and in government when I was a child. So I've always had a thing for Martin Luther King. I think just the first time you hear someone like that speak, I mean, he graduated college at 19. He, tragically was shot down at the age of 39, and he had done so much in his life at that point. So it was great kind of taking a moment this weekend and thinking about him and all he meant to our country. And, I have a lot of his quotes in and around my office, but that one, it's kind of like Onward Forward at the high school, but the one, keep moving forward, is something I always think about every day. And that's my Mayor's Corner this week. So that's what we can do, right? We got to keep moving forward each and every day. I hope everyone stays warm out there. Have a great week here in Newburyport, and I will see you all next time on the Mayor's Corner.